It's setting up the meeting.
Your stream.
Excellent. It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first edition of Dawn's Dharma Talks for 2024. And just a quick overview, the idea and concept around the Dharma Talk lives are education. So I've been bringing in special guests to talk a little bit about different aspects of living a yogic lifestyle, whether it be stress management or different ways of doing yoga. Um, I've got Jennifer Kempfer-Norris, also known as JKN, in our networking world, who's going to share with us about her journey towards health. And how she's incorporated yogic principles into her life. I'm Dawn. I am a online chair yoga teacher for female caregivers who want it all and fall into bed exhausted every night, wondering what happened to the day. I have a variety of different teaching classes, and I'll talk more about that at the end. So, without any further delay, I'd like to go ahead and dive in. JKN, if you'd like to share with the viewers who you are and just a little bit about what you do.
First of all, did you say that this is your this is the first time we're doing this segment?
No. I've done this. I've been doing this. I've done. I was doing it weekly and then I went to monthly, but it's the first one for 2024.
Because it's Tuesday. Okay. I I will catch up. I swear. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But it's still cool. It is still the first time this year.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jennifer Kempfer-Norris, which nobody knows. It's a big mouthful. I never say it myself, so everybody calls me JKN. And I am the self-proclaimed funnel badass. I help people find the holes in their sales and marketing funnels, processes, all of the things, systems, so that it is easier to fill those holes, make some money, and then scale. Pretty simple.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Jakin and I met through an online networking group, and we've had the opportunity to work together for the last year probably.
A
You
minute.
know, yeah, exactly. So I wanted to bring you on to because you've shared with me before that you have a health journey, and I'd love to have you share what you feel comfortable sharing about that health journey.
Well, it's no secret if you know me. I'm an open book, especially when it comes to all of the crappy stuff. Can I say bad words? All of the crappy stuff that comes with the health issue that I'm fighting. So it's funny that we're doing this today on January 2nd because I had symptoms. I'll tell you what it is in just a second, but my symptoms of not mine, I'm not claiming it. Symptoms of the disease I am fighting showed up for the very first time New Year's Eve 2014. So I'm
Mhm.
going into, this is my 9th year of fighting rheumatoid arthritis. And that night it was really weird. At the time my kids were tiny. 2014, I would have had, I don't know, a 2 and a 1.5-year-old, maybe. I don't know, tiny. So like I said, I told Don just a little bit ago, my husband worked New Year's Eve back then every year, no big thing. So we were just laying around on the couch, and I assumed that one of them had I probably grabbed one of them and picked them onto the couch where I had been laying down most of the day watching movies with them. And my arm went from totally fine to excruciating pain, could hardly move it. And I just assumed that, with small kids, I had tweaked it. No big deal. And it was a rough night. Like, couldn't sleep, rough night because it hurt so bad. But it felt like muscle pain, no big deal. And then it went away 24, 48 hours. Again, assumed it was totally just muscle issues. And about 2 weeks later, my other arm did the exact same thing. Like, well, that's weird. What's going on? again, 24, 48 hours, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks or so later, one of my hips did the same thing, couldn't move it. Like, okay, this is weird. So I went into the doctor, blah, blah, blah. Doctor did all the tests. And to come to find out, I was diagnosed with a extremely chronic, very quickly onsetting case of rheumatoid arthritis. And you don't know what you don't know. So at first I accepted everything that the doctor told me, and took all of the medications. And there were like 8. They made me feel like garbage. And when I started doing a little research into those medications, a lot of them, 6 of them were also cancer treatment pills type of things. So it made a whole lot of sense that I didn't feel really well. I was basically putting poison into my body, and that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I quit taking them because I didn't like how they made me feel. But I went through several years of not realizing that the things that you eat affect inflammation, especially. If you don't know, rheumatoid arthritis is, well, it's an arthritis, but it basically your body attacks itself. And there are a whole lot of reasons, a lot of things that you can eat that create inflammation that you don't need, and it's just ridiculous. But because my case was so chronic, it's about 10 times worse than what an average person would experience when they first roll out, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So I had Christmas dinner actually with my father and mother-in-law, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law a couple nights ago. And they were talking about how somebody had asked my father-in-law, if you could go back and change anything in life, what regret would you go back? And he's like, I wouldn't change anything. I'm like, me neither. And then I said, no, wait, I would change one thing. The summer that I spent the entire summer in bed in pain, not realizing that me giving into the pain like that was going to be the beginning of a very downhill spiral. So that summer was when my mobility crashed. I quit being able to. I could still walk on my own. I could still do a lot of things, but I progressively got worse because I literally spent 3 months in bed. So the things that you don't know, I now, anytime my kids are like, this hurts, that hurts, I'm like, stretch, do something, move. Don't just, maybe sit with it for 24 hours and ease into it. But then after that, you got to move. So I don't know if that has answered any of the beginning. We could talk about so many things. I've learned so much in 9 years now. So yeah, ask me your questions. I don't know. I could
Yeah,
ramble on.
absolutely. No, that's incredible. I'd like to talk a little bit about your journey from making when you were in bed for the summer, and what was going through your mind, and what allowed you to make the decision to say enough is enough, and what happened after that.
That's actually a really great question. I don't know if you know this, Dawn, but I'm pretty competitive and pretty like not taking any shit from anybody. And after that summer, it was easy for the summer to just say, no, I'm not going to do anything. I was at home with the kids. We basically were lounging around all day long. We didn't have anywhere to be. We didn't have anything to do. So it was easy for me to just lay there and wallow in the pain and not want to move. Like that was ultimately the thing. Like it sucked to move. And I allowed myself to I don't know if at that point if I thought I was a victim, I probably did a little bit. I don't think I had gone quite through my giant mind shift at the time. I think that was probably what started it. But after 3 months, and now the kids are, we got to get going. I think that I can't remember. I don't think Michaela was going to school yet, but we were getting close. We had things to do. Anyway, I was finally like, I cannot do this anymore. I absolutely cannot lay in this bed another day. A, I'm freaking bored out of my skull. B, I've watched all there is. At the time, there was only Netflix. So I had broken Netflix. I'd watched it all. And I had things to do. Like I had things I wanted to accomplish. So I finally was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be a victim. I had several people in my life that were also in health type issues, and they definitely were 100% victim mentality. I'm like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be whining all the time. I don't want to be crying all the time. I don't want people to be thinking that if I say anything that I want them to feel sorry for me, because I don't do that like at all. I can't even. If I say something and somebody goes down the path of, oh, I'm so sorry, I leave the room. I kid you not, I cannot handle it. Because I don't want or need anybody to feel sorry for me. I have just recently started to get to the point. Let me rewind. So it's been 9 years. I have gone downhill with mobility. So, for instance, and this is a whole nother story that we could talk about because it's in a timeline for New Year's, but I spent the first 8 months of 2023 scared to death to come down my stairs. Not because I was scared I was going to fall. I was afraid of the pain. So I have a mobility scooter that I use when I go outside of my house. I have not one, but two walkers that I use inside of my house, one on each floor, so that my family no longer has to carry one up and down the stairs so that I can go either way. I totally forgot where I was going with this. Oh, I don't do well asking for help. That's where I was going. Even with my family, knowing that there's something that I can't do. I don't do well asking for help. So that's where I was going with that point. I've gone down several rabbit holes. I don't remember what the original question was. Please
All right.
remind me.
So actually, I think we will. The original question will lead into where my next question. You talked about 2023 and the 8 months of fear. So what happened? I mean, what was the mindset shift? You had mentioned you had a giant mindset shift when you first at that first summer, and how did you make that shift even greater, particularly in 2023? Because I know you had a huge breakthrough in 2023. If you want to
That's
share about that.
that's a good question. I haven't really, I've been spending a lot of time the last couple of days really diving into reflecting on that time. But yes, I don't I know that Christmas Day 2022, think that math is right. It was a rough day just because, we got up and we did all of the Christmas things. And so the next day there was a ton of pain. There, I didn't even try to come down the stairs. And that led to about a week where I had a flare up. So I spent most of the week just barely moving, not because I was afraid or didn't want to, but because I legitimately couldn't. And that led to basically allowing myself to make excuses. I still had work to do. My business was relatively new at the time. My newest business, excuse me. But I had other businesses that I had to run. So the excuse that I made was I had my kids we have a card table. I had them bring it upstairs to my bedroom. And we basically made a makeshift office. It was supposed to be temporary, a makeshift office in my bedroom so that I could still work without having to climb down what I now call Mount Saint staircase. I hate with fiery passion coming down my stairs because it hurts. And I allowed myself to make an excuse. And then let's call it what it is. My stairs are the most not mobility, the most movement, the most that I force my body to move every single day. So I subconsciously allowed myself to become afraid of going down the stairs. And also because I don't like asking for help, I wouldn't let anybody help me down the stairs. I then also created excuses in my head, like I can't go downstairs when my husband goes to work because I need to get the kids up for school. Or I can't do, there was another thing, something with my husband, like I can't do this because it'll wake him up, or I don't know. I made all kinds of excuses. I was still getting things done. I was still working, because I'm a workaholic, but I was going down another rabbit hole of not putting my health as a priority. So then I get it because I'm not moving around like I needed to. My body really locked up. It got to the point where I was legitimately afraid of coming down the stairs. And I was legitimately afraid of getting into my shower, which is just a shower stall. It's not even a tub I have to crawl over. For months, my husband had to hold me up and help me get into the shower. So I don't remember what it was, honestly. Something somewhere clicked and was like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this for my kids. I cannot be a 90-year-old parent to at the time, what are my kids? So like, I don't know, 10 and 12. If I keep being stupid, I'm going to not show up for anything. And that was another thing that really hit for me too, is because I wasn't going down the stairs, because I wasn't moving my body, because it hurt so bad to come back after forcing myself to go down the stairs. My kids were getting to the point where they would have events at school or whatever. And I kid you not, my oldest has said to me multiple times in the last year, it's okay, Mom, if you don't want to come to my concert because you don't feel well. It's not okay. So something somewhere happened, and I don't know if I had a legitimate moment that it clicked and was like, I got to stop this. It might have been that we have a mutual friend that reached out to me and was like, we're doing this. So I went through a healing session with her, an energy healing session. And then I was like, I am done. So I worked through the fear of the shower, and I have now for months gotten in the shower by myself every single time. I still have that thing in the back of my head that says I can't do it, or you're gonna fall, or whatever. But then I do it. And let's see what else. I come down the stairs every single day now. And oh, Dawn, you might not know this. I this last week alone, like in the last rolling week, I have come down Mount Saint staircase by myself with no assistance 3 times.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So
Congratulations.
moving around, forcing myself, and my husband asked me a couple weeks ago, not even, I think it was less than a week ago. He's like, "Do you think we should get a stair lift?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not. You're the one who keeps saying that we every time that things got hard and we bought a mobility advice, one of the walkers or the scooter, or there are handrails in all of my bathrooms, which will probably stay there until the day that I die, because they're handy." But every time we get something else to help me move better, it actually makes it worse because I'm not forcing myself. And the stairs really are the number one reason. If it weren't for climbing up and down the stairs, I would probably be like a legitimate ball instead of just half of a ball.
So are you so are you doing what, I mean, what helped you get to the point where you felt comfortable, brave, whatever word feels right for you, to take that first step to try that, taking the stairs?
Mostly I put myself the exact opposite, situations that I didn't have a choice. So my mom came to visit. She had several actually strokes in July, end of, I don't know, June, July. And she came and stayed here for almost a whole month. And so at first, I had to come down the stairs every single day because I had to keep an eye on my mom who was living in my living room. Um, so that forced me every day to come down the stairs. I knew I needed help. I couldn't do it by myself. So my husband, I kid you not, he he happily puts both of his hands on my butt and helps carry me down the stairs multiple times. And so he started working a very early morning shift, and I was like, well, if I want help, I got to get up at 5 a.m. and come down the stairs. So when I tried it on my own, coming down the stairs on my own the first time a couple months ago, I didn't have a choice. I stayed in bed for whatever reason. I had a headache, probably because that's the way my life is rolling right now. I had to come downstairs. I'm sure my mom was here. I needed to be down the stairs so that I could check up on her. And my kids can't carry me down the stairs. They like to think that they could. And my husband tells me that I now only weigh like half a pound compared to what I used to weigh. But they couldn't do it. So I had to. There was no option. And I've done that a few times now where I put myself in that situation. Like, I have to be at my desk. I will not let my kids bring me my laptop so that I can work in bed, so that I'm forced to go downstairs to my desk. And if Joel's not here, I'm forced to do it on my own and all of the things. So does that answer the question?
It does. And I know that you've attended some of my workshops, some of my yoga stuff that I've done, the presentations that I've done. So for you, what have you found the most beneficial in those sessions?
Okay, so I don't think I've said this out loud to you, and anybody watching this, I hope finds it hilarious. Um, I'm a workaholic. Like, I, part of the problem, part of the reason that I let 2023 be such a problem with my health is because I was constantly thinking it takes time for me to stretch. Like, I can't get up and walk around my house because I have back-to-back meetings. I can't fit this 5-minute stretching session in because what if I need to do blah, 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 or I get stuck in projects and then I don't even pay attention. Like, I will set an alarm. I'm notorious for setting a gajillion alarms on my phone for health purposes, specifically like stretch, walk, all the things. And then I will turn them off because I am doing something that's work related. I am a workaholic, which is another thing that I'm working on, right? That's a whole nother thing, whole nother podcast that somebody needs to have me on. But so what I decided, I have gotten so much out of the sessions that I've done with you and just sitting there and thinking about it, breathing and taking the time. That I have made the new habit. My arms and my neck have been bothering me the most lately. And so now I'm working on making it a habit that every time I go to the bathroom, I stretch my arms and my neck while I am in the bathroom. And that is working really well.
Yay! Actually, I don't know if you know this. When I first came into the networking group, the bathroom five the 1 minute tip was always sit on the toilet and breathe.
No,
So
I didn't know
it's
that.
yeah, I've always thought that's always been like my number one go-to, because one of the original reasons why I created my online yoga studio was for the busy mom. I was that busy mom, and running the rat race and doing all the things, all the workaholic piece as well. And with finding yoga, it doesn't have to be 90 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 60 seconds paying attention to what you're doing. And that's what I love, JKN, about what you were talking about, is that awareness that you've created, and certainly the breathing, being able to sit and breathe. And I know you've done a few of the poses with us, and found benefit, usually the upper body. Like you said, the upper body stuff is really good. So thank you so much.
Yeah, my next goal, now that I'm getting pretty good at making it a regular habit, my arms, my neck, right? I got to figure out now the next thing that when I'm doing it on the regular basis to work on these hips and knees, which are more problematic because they don't work. Like, I'm sure I've told you. And for anybody who doesn't know me, my hands also don't work, so bear with me as I try to do this. But like most people, your knees and your legs, they do all the bendy things, right? Like my legs, look, I can't even do this. My legs are like permanently, this one does it better, are like permanently bent. So it's hard for me to figure out, well, what am I gonna do to be able to stretch this bad boy out? So anyway, that's
Yeah.
my next goal, to figure out where in my day to attach that habit, the things that you've taught me, to what I'm already doing.
Right. And another thing, when you're working with chronic pain and other mobility challenges, is what can you strengthen? So core is even something, just by practicing the breath and using your core to breathe. That could be another way to get the process started, in creating the stability in your core to allow you to be able to work
Mhm.
the lower part of your body. So
Mhm.
60-second tips, changing lives, 60 seconds and one breath at a time. So so as we wrap up, thank you so much, for sharing your journey. And I know there's so much more we can talk about, so might bring you back in this next phase of your journey, maybe this time next year, if not sooner. One tip you want to, or one takeaway you want, the viewers to come away with, it can be something, for people with chronic pain, or just anybody who might be in that space of not knowing what to do next.
Oh, so many things. I have made it a bit of a mission to always talk about how I'm feeling. There's no behind the scenes Instagram. Wait, that's not true. Wait, I said that backwards. I put it all out there. So there's no, Instagrammable stuff in my life. Like all the crap stuff, that's actually what people see. I hardly ever put pretty pictures and whatnot up, because it's not real. So I would tell you, if you are watching this and you are either, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you're just a busy person, and you feel like there isn't anybody in the world who understands what you're going through, or there are a lot. I try and tell people a lot, like, yes, I put up a good face. I have worked really hard so that I don't ever have I feel sorry for myself, or all those negative feelings that I did have for a long time. Um, I have no problem telling people that there are days when life is freaking hard. Like really, really freaking hard. Pain sucks. It is absolutely terrible. I wish that nobody had to go through it. Um, and there are going to be times when you're going to cry just on your way to the bathroom, because it just hurts so damn much. And there are going to be times, maybe you don't want anybody to know that, because you don't want them to think that you're weak, or you don't want them to think that you need their help. I'm the problem. Hi, it's me. Um, but there are always people that you can reach out to, that even if it's just to say, I'm having a rough day, find those people, because it's important to find the people who aren't going to make you feel like they are pitying you, or that they're going to try and solve all of your problems that everybody knows that they can't, just so that you're not alone. So that is, and the second thing is not necessarily push through it. You always need to listen to your body, but don't make excuses. Like, don't just lay in your bed for 3 months, because it's not going to be helpful. I know from experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And JK makes a really good point about community. And if you are looking for that community, let's chat. Let's schedule a 15-minute chat about the ways that, I can work with you to find that community. I'm building a community. I say caregivers, yet in a way we're all caregivers, because ultimately even if you're caring for other people, whether it be a loved one or a furry loved one, or even taking care of yourself is super important. So I'm I'm open to having that free 15-minute consultation. You'll walk away with at least one yoga tool that you can use and incorporate into your life. Real simple and personalized to what your needs are. Just real quick, coming up the end of this month, January 27th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, I'll be giving a workshop. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it is for character. Oh, it's nourishing movement and mind. It's something like that. So watch my social media in the coming days for links to sign up for that. Emails will be going out. Please, love to have you like, subscribe, join the groups, do all the things. And I will see you very soon for our next edition of Dawn's Dharma Talks. Take care, everyone. Be well.